Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Forman, and this is part 2 of performance fins and the difference they're going to make on your surfboard. In part 1, we talked about why go with performance fins over the plastic fins. In part 2, we're going to talk about choosing the right fins to match it up to your body weight, your surfboard, and also the type of waves that you're going to be surfing with that board and those fins. So the very first thing when choosing your fins, and it's probably the reason that a lot of people don't even go for performance fins in the first place, is they walk up to the fin wall and they're just in awe. You know, in a lot of places that carry a lot of fins, you're talking about 10 feet high by 10 feet wide of infinite number of choices, sizes of fins, constructions of fins, inside, outside foils. And more often than not, you're just confused and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go with the plastics. But you're missing out on a lot, so the point of this video is to run you through a step-by-step sequence of how you choose the right fin and to make it basically just decode the confusion and make it easy for you. So step one with all the fins is to know what size fin is right for you. So just like surfboards are sized for the size of surfer that they're best for, fins are also sized that way. So if you look at an FCS or a Futures fin chart, they're going to have everything listed extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and they'll have weight ranges that correlate with each of those sizes. Find out where your body weight fits, and you know, for those of you that are dead in the middle, it's going to make it real easy. If you're right on a borderline, if you like the board to be looser, you want to go with the smaller fin. If you want a lot of fin to push off of and you're really a powerful surfer, go with the bigger fin. But finding that weight range, finding yourself in those charts is immediately going to take out 80% of the fins off the wall that are not for you and then put you into the size fin that is for you, and it makes it a lot easier to at least narrow down those choices. Once you've designated which size fin is right for you, the next thing is the shape of the fin. Basically, fins are going to turn based on the curve of the fin. If you have a fin that's more upright coming out of the box and through the tip, that's going to have a much more pivotal, tight turn. So if you're in beach break or if you're in a really short wave where you're trying to fit in a lot of turns, something that's more vertical coming out of the box with less rake is going to be a better fin because it's going to want to do more turns more often, and it's also going to have a more pivotal turn in a tight pocket of a wave. If you're riding bigger waves or if you're riding waves with a drawn out open face where you have the ability to do a much longer radius turn or open radius turn, like out onto the face and back around, so it's not tight and pivoty, it's more drawn out, then you want to have a fin that has more rake that goes further back out of the box. What that does is it makes the fin more stable on those longer radius turns at higher speeds. So again, remember, something that's more vertical is going to be real pivoty. Something that has a lot of rake angled back is going to be better for long drawn out turns, especially at higher speeds. If you take what happens if you take that vertical fin and try and draw it a really long turn, it's not going to be as stable, and it's always going to want to hook into a tighter turn the way it's designed to. So with those longer, more drawn out turns, it's going to be better if you have something a little bit more raked back. The third thing that you want to consider is also the construction of the fin. Now, in the first part of this video, we talked about plastic not being the right choice to complement your high performance board. But once you get into performance fins, you have combinations of honeycomb, honeycomb fiberglass, and then you also have honeycomb fiberglass with carbon mixed in. All of these fins, the carbon is put into the fin to fine-tune the flex, and then also in some instances to either make part of the fin or the entire fin stiffer. So also the carbon, because it's expensive and it adds another layer to the production of the fin, makes the fin more expensive as well. So for those of you that want the most fine-tuned flex, you can go for the carbon, or if you want a fin that's stiffer, you can also go for the carbon. Something that doesn't have the carbon, it's going to have a little bit softer flex, so a lot of times if you're not pushing your turns as hard, or if you're a lighter surfer, the fins without the carbon actually might be better for you. But again, those fins will still be significantly better than the plastic. They'll have a much better response, meaning like when you bend them, they're going to bend back out of the turns and spring you out of the turns way better than a plastic fin will. But because of your lighter body weight or the lighter foot pressure that you put in your turns, they will be able to bend. You will be able to actually bend them and flex them and have them spring you back out of the turns. So to give you an example to compare against these fins that are in here, this is basically just a moderate middle of the road rake in the fin. So this would be a good all-around fin. If you look at something like this, this has way more rake going towards the tail of the board. So this is going to be better for those open face turns we were talking about, something more long, drawn out radius turns. And you can also see that this fin doesn't have any carbon in it. So this fin would suit a lighter footed surfer, and lighter footed meaning either lighter on a scale when you're weighing yourself, or lighter footed meaning like how hard you actually push in your turns. So again, a little bit more rake in this fin, and then also without the carbon, going to be better for different types of waves and different types of surfers. So in this video we covered 3 steps of choosing the right fin. One was to properly size yourself so you know what size fins to look for. The next one was looking for the type of fin that's going to suit the waves where you surf. You either have a vertical fin for tight pocket turns. The other end of the extreme is something that with a lot of rake that's better for long drawn out, long radius turns on the open face. You can also go right up the middle and get something that's got a balance of both. Lastly was choosing the right construction, whether it be fiberglass, like 100% fiberglass with the honeycomb, or bringing in the carbon to fine tune the flex, and then also to stiffen up the fin a little bit better for a little bit more for powerful surfers. So those are the basic 3 steps. Use those for choosing any fin for any board in your quiver, and it's going to make it a lot easier to put the right fins on your board and to improve the performance of your shred stick. So any other questions, you can always email us, realpro@realwatersports.com, or you can give us a call on the phone, 252-987-6000. Thanks for tuning in.